talk about UCLA, who is going to be figuring out something different because they got a lot of players entering the transfer portal because it's another day, another pair of high-profile transfers likely entering in the transfer portal. This time from the Final Four. Got juniors, Janiah Barker and Londynn Jones getting ready to head into the transfer portal. Guys, this was reported by ESPN yesterday. Guys, to be completely honest with you, I am not surprised at all. At all. Okay? At all, I'm not surprised. And let's start with Janiah Barker. All right, so Janiah Barker was a player who was fantastic at Texas A&M. She was the highest ranked recruit in Aggie history as number 3 overall in her class. And Janiah Barker was really, really fantastic at Texas A&M. As a sophomore, she started 27 of 30 games, led her team in a lot of ways. She was, in a lot of ways, like the big factor for Texas A&M. And I thought, okay, she can make some stuff happen, right? She's 6'4". She has size. She has some movement to her, right? She can absolutely make some stuff happen. But then she made the decision to transfer. She said, you know what? My stock is really, really high. I am going to go and explore my options elsewhere. I'm going to go and see what I can do, right? I was averaging around 12.7 points a game, 5.9 rebounds a game as a freshman at Texas A&M. As a sophomore, I averaged 12.2 and 7.6 rebounds a game. I was doing some stuff, making some stuff happen. I wanted to enter the transfer portal, and Janiah ended up going to UCLA. And after she got her transfer to UCLA, she kind of got lost in the shuffle after that. She was a big deal, big deal at Texas A&M. She goes to UCLA. She started a little bit and just kind of got buried on the bench. This was not a team that was built, in my opinion, for her success, and so she got lost in the shuffle. Despite being, in my opinion, one of like a very, very versatile and explosive power forward, Barker spent her 1 year mostly coming off the bench. Sure, she won the Big Ten Sixth Player of the Year award. Yeah, sure. But that honor kind of felt a little weird. It felt like, yeah, sure, it was a great honor, but at the same time, it was given to someone who, in my opinion, was a misused asset for UCLA. This year, she averaged 7.4 points a game, 6 rebounds a game, 17.5 minutes a game on average. Sure, solid numbers, but, in a lot of ways, she was the energy boost that UCLA needed when they saw it, right? But she never kind of got the consistent role that she needed to sort of match her ability. And I felt like there was never really a plan for Janiah Barker on the court. It was just sort of like get on the court and just do something. There wasn't really plays for her. It didn't really feel like she kind of fit. And so she ended up just going in the game and just doing the most because she knew, it felt like she knew that she wasn't going to be in very long. And so, yes, they ended up seeing some serious mistakes happening on the court from her. But she has a lot of potential. It just, UCLA just wasn't the right fit, it seemed. And now, with Sanaya Betts coming in, Lauren Betts' sister, Barker's minutes were pretty much gone for next year, right? They were not going to go up. If anything, her minutes were going to go down, all right? In my opinion, Janiah Barker is a huge talent. However, there was no real, in my opinion, guidance given to her on the court, and it just felt like she just went out there and just did whatever. And she has someone who like was able to rock out in the SEC and hold her own, right? She is someone who I thought was pretty successful at Texas A&M. But sometimes when you leave and go somewhere else, sometimes you think it may be better, but sometimes it's not better. So now, what's next for Janiah Barker is full steam ahead, full speed ahead, going somewhere else that does a little bit more to prioritize her as a talent, likely has her starting. So that way she can get all ready for the WNBA, because that is her next step, is the WNBA. All right, we got some super chats. I want to get to those. Thank you so much for all the people who have given super chats. If y'all could make sure to hit that like button. Hit that like button, guys. We got about 400, almost 500 people in the chat, but we only have 100 likes. Please make sure to hit that like button. Thank you very much. All right, thank you so much, Sierra, for the super chat. Says, happy Friday, Quita and awesome people of the internet. $10 for the chat support. So appreciate chart makers of the internet to follow along easier. Yeah, again, shout out to UConn Women's Basketball Weekly for that chart. Truly, that was very helpful. And if I can find more charts like that, I will make sure to share them on this channel and shout out the person who made it. And hopefully, we could eventually, eventually down the road, end up making our own charts as well. That'd be awesome. But again, Sierra, thank you for your continued support of the channel. Awesome person of the internet, Frank. What up? Mod extraordinaire says, I love the themes. Quita, let's go. Well, thank you so much for your support, Frank. Appreciate it. You are always rocking with me, and I appreciate it very, very much. All right. Okay. Let's continue on, and let's talk about the other player who will be entering the transfer portal. Now, she has not officially entered just yet, but sources are telling ESPN, or ESPN wrote about it yesterday, and so, yeah, about Londynn Jones entering the transfer portal. And for Londynn Jones, this is a story that is, again, missed potential that just didn't work out for UCLA. And the reason why I say that is because, in a slightly opposite way, whereas Janiah Barker spent most of the time coming off the bench, Londynn Jones ended up getting a starting role for UCLA. She spent all of her seasons so far at UCLA. Like, this is the first time she's leaving. Janiah Barker was at Texas A&M and then transferred to UCLA. Londynn Jones has spent all 3 years so far of her playing career at UCLA. And she started in 31 games this year. And she was holding it down as the starting shooting guard, right? She made 87 threes this past season, which is a program record, or 2 seasons ago. And this year, she knocked down about 35% of her three-point shots. But her scoring did dip from 11.8 points a game to 8.5 points a game. And most importantly, she was asked to play out. She was asked to sort of be a player who, in a way, was kind of playing out of position of sorts. She's a 5'4" scorer, right? She's someone who can knock down threes. The issue wasn't really talent. I just think the fit didn't make sense. UCLA had Londynn Jones starting, and I said this early on in the season, and I continued to say it as the season went on. Londynn Jones, to me, was not a starter for UCLA. Londynn Jones was someone who, in my opinion, needed to come off the bench for this UCLA team and bring that spark off the bench, not necessarily be a starter for this team. And now she's out. She's out the door. She's going to go somewhere else. She's going to try to go somewhere else and be successful. Where exactly she goes, I'm not sure. But again, Londynn Jones, Janiah Barker, they're not the only ones who are leaving UCLA. There's a list of Bruins entering the portal as well, and also including all 4 members of last year's freshman class. So, like, that's a thing. There's an exodus happening at UCLA, and they still have a lot of talent on their team, right? You got Lauren Betts returning. You got Kiki Rice returning. You got Charlize Legger-Walker, who will be healthy next year. So that's a huge one. She was out all season this year. And you got Sienna Betts coming as well as a freshman. So they're going to look pretty good next year. But after this many exits, after a Final Four season, it does raise a little bit of eyebrows, a little bit. Something just totally isn't clicking with UCLA to have, in my opinion, high-level players like a Londynn Jones, like a Janiah Barker walking away from a title contender. However, both players now get to reset and figure out what they want to do next. And hey, if a team needs a scorer, particularly one that comes off the bench, hey, give Londynn Jones a call. Or if it's not a Final Four team, I could see her possibly being a starter. But a potential Final Four team, I think she's someone who comes off the bench and brings energy and brings a 3-point shooting. And if you need just energy, just someone in the post who can make a lot of stuff happen, Janiah Barker is your player. Janiah Barker is your player. Stanley says Jones will be one of the many girls going back to their old coaches and saying they were just playing and need their spot back. I don't think so. I think Londynn Jones is out. Thank you so much. I care too for the super chat. Salute to you. Says thank you. I appreciate it with the. Is that a heart? There we go. I appreciate you. I care too for the super chat. Really do appreciate your support. Thank you. W. Brazil says, wasn't there an 80s song called London Calling? I don't know. I do know London Bridge is falling down. I ended up adapting it. Maybe some of y'all heard me in a random stream. I was like, Londynn Jones is draining threes. Londynn Jones is draining threes, and there's nothing you can do about it. Y'all, I'm a big fan of Londynn Jones. I think Londynn Jones is a really, really, really good specialist type of player. There's some players who they're really, really good at one thing, and this is not to say that that's all Londynn Jones could do, but I think that's what she does the best. But the problem was, as a starter, I think some of those threes were forced. I think sometimes she played a little bit too many minutes, and if it wasn't working, pull her off and try it again next time, right? The UCLA versus South Carolina, I think that was the game where Londynn Jones was she was really, really doing her thing. Because she's someone who can get hot from the three and just, she can get in the groove and not miss, right? Against South Carolina, she was 5 of 7 from the 3-point line, something like that, or 5. No, she's 5 of 5 from the 3-point line in that South Carolina game. Again, she is someone who can be a huge, huge, huge spark for her team. And you want to know how she did that? She came off the bench in that game. Londynn Jones came off the bench in that South Carolina game, and to me, I thought that was a huge reason as to why she was doing what she was doing. I think that's the big thing. Big thing. That was a very, very big thing. JH is asking, I wonder what happens to the ones in the portal who don't find a new team. Do they go back to their old ones? Do they just get dropped and lose their scholarships? It's the latter. Yeah. So if you enter the transfer portal, if you can't find a place to go, you can't find a new destination that's going to give you a scholarship, and if you say, hey, actually, I'm just kidding, I want to come back, and your team that you just left says, no, we already filled your spot, then you're scholarship-less. You're teamless. You have to now figure out something else to do. Now, does that happen? Yes. It happened last year where we hit the end of the transfer portal and there were way more people in the transfer portal than players that found teams. So there were some players that were in this limbo land of what do I do? What do I do next? I don't know where to go, right? That's going to happen. Now, is it going to happen to the top talent? No, it's not. Right? There is, in my opinion, no instance where we wind up seeing a player like a Janiah Barker or Londynn Jones without a team. They're going to be on a team next year. I don't anticipate it happening where they won't have a team. I think there are players who are in mid-major programs who enter the transfer portal. Some of them, they may enter thinking that they got a lot of prospects and then unfortunately realize that those prospects don't exist and they'll be without a team and they got to figure out something else to do. Maybe they can go to JUCO, they can go to D2, D3. They can figure out something else. All right.